Hi, let's start with the first session of this particular cohort. And what we are going to discuss, as I explained in the introduction video, is that we are going to actually start with a very interesting product idea from very basics, and we are going to convert into a working prototype using various AI tools and in fact generative AI tools in next couple of hours. So that is what we are going to expect and do in this particular cohort. So some of the key deliverables that you should expect in this particular cohort in the next couple of hours is the following. So we will start with a product requirement with very basic. We will learn how to really define the requirement. In fact, we'll start with ideation and we will see what exactly goes in creating a proper product requirement, right? Which essentially means looking at the idea from various perspectives, really validating the idea at a high level quickly with the help of AI today, and also doing a very quick competitive research. Now, these are all the inputs. The next thing would be that how to really structure it into a proper document, which can be consumed by the development team and your, other stakeholders and counterpart in the organization. Once this is done, the next part is that how to really define a strategy. Strategy means the execution aspects of this particular product. Like some people will tell you that, okay, we should create first strategy, vision, and then PRD or product requirement. But for this particular cohort and this particular use case, we are going to focus first on the requirement. And once we have full clarity on what we are going to build, or at least 80% clarity on what we are going to build, we are going to go into the product strategy part, and we are going to develop a proper strategic plan. Product strategy is something which has various definitions and various formats. So we are going to see one very simple and very effective format which works in the industry, which is very practical, and we will fill that format today to create a product strategy. Next is, from product strategy, we need to look at what is the overall business model, business plan, how much money we can make, what are the important financial aspects, financial terms. Normally, if you are working in a very tech role, you probably will miss this part. So this is an opportunity to learn how to link your product strategy with your business plan. And we will see a very detailed approach here, but still it will be related to the idea that we are going to pick up, right? Plus, we will also see how to, once you have the financial aspects clarified, how to really look at a digital business model, how to really look at a digital business model from a very different perspective. Next, point number 4, we are going to look at the consumer journey design. So all the requirements that we have created here, we are going to link it, and we are going to create the consumer journey maps and define the entire experience that consumer is going to get. And in step number 5, once we have the journeys available, we are going to go at a screen level and define the user experience at a screen level. And we're going to use AI for helping us create those screens quickly, right? We are going to learn some tools also. So by the time session number 5 is done, you will have a good understanding that how your product is going to look like, how much money you expect to make if you get a particular set of users, and how much investment you feel is needed, and by when you will recover that money. Now, number 6 and number 7 are the building blocks now. Number 6 is where we are going to look at, while we have the designs available, that to really build this product, what are the key components, key building blocks that are going to be required. Typically, at this point of time, you will be working with various technology people, technology architects, designers, and a couple of other folks. But for this particular cohort and this particular program, we are going to do it ourselves. We are going to be self-dependent, and we are going to build a very high-level architecture which we feel is right for that product. And then once that is done, so we have the journeys available, we have the user experience available, we have the building blocks available. We are going to work on the development of the prototype. We are going to do vibe coding with the help of some, again, very, very smart AI tools available today. And we are going to work and create a working prototype. Now, from starting from 1st to 7th, the stage number 7 is when you reach and you will be able to create a working prototype. right? A prototype which you can share with your friends, you can put it on social media, you can share it on LinkedIn, and people will be able to use and give you feedback. And then we will also learn how to constantly improve that. Now, to gain best out of this particular program, please make sure that you do not complete these 7 steps in one single go. I know that it sounds very interesting and you would like to see, okay, what are the frameworks, what are the steps, how can I, complete this course in just, let's say, 2 hours, 3 hours by going or looking at fast speed. But the intent is that you should create something. You should learn how to create something by taking this particular course. And the only way you can do it is that you can watch the recorded videos when you are traveling or when you are having some time, free time. But the real objective is that you work on your laptop, on your computer screens. You watch this, you apply, you build something together. Then once this part is done, you move to the next module. You move to the next module. That is the best way to get maximum out of this particular program. Now, moving on, let's look at the first part, which is finding customer problems, right? So there are many problems around us. So let's say for this particular program, you have to find a customer problem, which you have to then solve with the help of a product, right? So you are finding a customer problem, then you are working on that problem with the help of few frameworks that you will learn, and you are going to solve it with the help of, the overall customer problem. So what we are going to learn is a very simple framework, and this framework is a method to make you think in the right direction, and also make sure that you are getting the right inputs. You're getting the right inputs at this stage. So the first thing you need to ask is, or maybe you can take some notes here. You need to ask is that who is your key micro segment? Key micro segment is basically a set of people whom you are going to target and who are going to be your first customers, right? Or who are impacted with this particular problem, right? I'll give you one example here when we see the idea that I have selected for this particular program. But the first question you need to ask is who? Means who is impacted, and it should not be very broad. It should be micro. And the reason for micro is that once you go into micro, you spend effort in analyzing that particular customer's behavior, the problem that customer is facing, and that brings quality to your entire process. Number two is what is the problem that is affecting your users? Means this is where you are defining the problem to the best of your knowledge. Now, while who is typically a fixed definition, but what keeps on changing? Because today, let's say you spoke to some folks and you discovered the problem. Then after maybe next week, you again spoke to some more folks from the same micro segment and you discovered the better definition of what, or you added some more insights, and this what is going to get evolved, right? So it is totally okay if you are changing your definition of what, if you are refining your definition of what multiple times, because that is going to be expected when you talk to more and more people and you discover more insights. Next is where, right? Now, where is basically an approach which means that which aspects of customer's life are negatively getting impacted, or maybe sometimes your business also, and how much is the impact? How much is the impact? Is a small impact, it's a medium impact, it's a large impact. That is the way you see SML, small, medium, large sizing is done here. And why it is done is because we want to really see whether this problem is really worth solving or not. So areas negatively impacted due to this problem is what is essentially needs to be covered here. Then why do you think it's a big problem? And what are the key reasons for this particular problem? Now, this is very important because you have collected a lot of information, and the why really brings clarity to your mind in terms of why do you think it's a big problem? Because sometimes what happens, the customers have problems, but they are not ready to pay to solve it. They are not really looking for a solution. They are happy with that problem also. But there will be some micro segments who are ready to pay for it, right? So why do you think it's a big problem, and what are the key drivers for this particular problem, right? Why do you think it is happening at the first place? by talking to the customer. So typically what happens when you look at the what part, when you look at, you also look at the why part along with, right? Why do you think it's a big problem and what are the key drivers for this particular problem? Next, now, the most important and the final question is that while you feel that, okay, you have good understanding about customer problem and you have good understanding about the customer also, key drivers, key reasons for the problem. Now, if we really build some solution around this problem with the help of a digital product or any other physical product, and we apply our product management skills to really solve this problem, the fundamental thing that you need to look at is that how do you know whether this problem will get solved? Means this is sometimes also called our definition of success. So if you build a product and you give that product to the customer buys it, starts using it, how will you know that the problem is solved with your product solution? Right? So these are the fundamental building blocks that are there for the ideas generation and to make sure that your idea is something which is worth pursuing. There is decent market for it. The problem is worth solving, and you have a method to know whether the problem is going to solve your solution is going to solve the customer problem or not, right? Now, there are some instructions that I have, and that really make sure that when you pick up an idea or when you do any kind of a market research, when you talk to the customer, you need to make sure that you are not falling in these traps. You're not following in these traps, and these traps are very, very possible to happen in any product manager's life. Number one is you select the wrong segment. You are in a hurry to solve it and you pick up the wrong micro segment or the wrong macro segment itself. I mean, that segment is something which has the problem, but they are not ready to pay for it. They're not your target segment as of today, right? Number two is dated data. I mean, probably you are looking at some data insights. Let's say it is possible that you are trying to solve problem for your existing customers. You have a working product and you are trying to solve problem for your existing customers by trying to build a revised version of that product or maybe some new features. If that is the case, you will be having some data points available within your company, and make sure that you are not looking at data which is too old or it is incorrect data, right? Or incomplete data. So again, if you are referring the data for any kind of insights, make sure that it is not old, it is not incomplete, and it should be relevant to this segment. The data should be relevant to the segment that you've selected. Number three is jumping to the solution quickly. Means you have figured out the problem, you quickly want to solve it. Do not fall in that trap also. You have enough time and there's a systematic process to find out the right solution, to do the product design. We are going to learn that. But the objective is not to quickly reach out to a wrong solution. The objective should not be to solve it quickly. The objective should be to solve it properly and solve it for once and all, right? And finally, you pick up a solution, you pick up everything, even if you have picked up the idea also, but there's no business viability, means there is not enough size, means the segment is right, there's the right problem that you have picked up. The solution is also correct, but there's not enough size of the market, and the amount of investment that you are going to do in that particular product is not going to justify the returns that you expect. That is called no business viability, right? So make sure that you are not falling in a trap to these particular problems or these particular pitfalls. So make sure and have caution when you are trying to do this exercise, right? So another approach that we look at when we are trying to look at a product idea or any customer problem is that it's called FDV framework. FDV, which we call it feasible, desirable, and viable. And it's a very popular framework and it's very useful. We are going to repeat and use it at multiple times during this particular program. So the first part is called feasible. Feasible essentially means that, okay, we have an idea, but can we really do it? Do we have the resources to work on this particular idea and come up with a solution? That's called feasibility, right? So there must be many problems that you want to solve in the world, but do you have the resources and do you have the time? Do you have the energy? Do you have the focus right now? That's called feasibility. Number two is called desirability. Desirability means that do customers really want it? Means they have the problem, they are looking for a solution, but are they ready to pay for it? Right? Do they really want a solution from you right now? And there are various market research techniques which you can do to really identify whether customers really desire a solution and what kind of solution from you, right? And number three is viability. Viability essentially means that do we have a business model? Do we have a working business model for this particular kind of a product or not? Should we be investing our resources, even if it is desirable and viable? Do we have enough resources? Do we have the a business model around that? Can we really make money out of this opportunity? So this is a very interesting and important framework called FDV framework. And now just to do a quick recap, what we have covered is we have covered the top 5 questions you need to ask when you are looking at selecting your product idea, and detail out these questions. And what we are going to do is we are going to see with an example now essentially what really means or how to really prepare answers for these questions quickly. And then we have looked at the FDB framework, again a very quick framework to really see whether your idea is really good enough to make sure that you want to work on it. It should be feasible, it should be desirable by the customer, and it should have a good business potential, right? So we are going to also look at some of the other aspects. We are going to look at competition research. We are going to look at competition research. Essentially means that how the competition how to really do competition research in a very simple way with the help of AI tools, and how to really use the AI tools to do the job for you to become your competition research assistant. We are going to look at that before we create the product document. Then, as I told you, the business plan that we are going to focus on, we are going to look at the various financial terms. We are going to also see how to really convert your product idea or your product solution into a proper business plan or a business platform. We will then get into the consumer journey design. We will define the experience, and we will also see how all the features that we have created in our product requirement, in our solution, how customer is going to use it, how customer is going to experience it. Next, we are going to look at the user experience design, and we are going to look at the screen by screen experience, and we are going to create those experiences together, right? And next is product architecture. We looked at product. We saw essentially that while this is a job that you will be doing together with technical people, but here we are going to be self-sufficient, and whatever knowledge we have, we are going to build a basic building block of our product. That how multiple systems and components will come together to really deliver your product. And there is some kind of a technical aspects required, which I will be covering here, and you don't need any hi-fi degree to really learn those things. And finally, we are going to look at a working prototype. We are going to really create a prototype which will be visible to you. You will be proud of creating that, and no coding knowledge required, only basic common sense and basic things required. And you will be actually releasing your prototype once this particular program ends, right? So this is what I wanted to cover in this particular class or this particular session. And for the discussion for this particular program purpose, so I have selected one product idea called meal plan generation. I'm calling it super meals, and I'll be taking you through more and more information about this product idea, how I started, and all the 5 questions that I mentioned you. I'm going to show you how I prepared answers to those questions, how I've struggled, how I have gone back and forth in identifying the right set of audience for this particular idea. And what you see on the screen is a working prototype of this particular product, which can help you create a meal plan, and AI is integrated with it. And generative AI is going to create a meal plan based on multiple aspects of your personality and your inputs and your lifestyle. So by end of this program, you will see with me this work prototype in action, and you will be able to create a meal plan for yourself using this particular tool, right? Now, in the next section, we are going to look at how to do competition research, how to really define your idea properly or apply the framework that we have just learned, how to do competition research, and how to come to a level where you are able to create a product requirement document, a very basic document which includes everything that is required to move to the next stage. Thank you.